Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing well. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for allowing me another opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you.
Well, if it's okay with you, I'll go ahead and press record.
Yes.
Okay. So we are now officially recording our conversation. Of course, I'll just go ahead and have you spell your first and last name and then title yourself for me again.
Philip Marsh, PhillipMarsh, and I am a creative producer and graduate student.
Wonderful. So talk to me a little bit about, the recent conversation you have had with city leaders and what they've told you about what today's meeting will be about.
So we have had a very robust conversation with city leadership and department heads with regards to this emergency that faces the downtown community, where public safety has kind of gotten a little bit out of control. There's been multiple quality of life issues that have really been kind of a crescendo of the last 8 years with regards to the administration of the IRC. And so that those voices have reached the level where we have been advised that the mayor, as well as the chairman of the county commissioners, will be meeting today at 1:30 to follow up with temporary and permanent solutions for the IRC location and its effects on the downtown Greensboro as well as the city as a whole.
And so, how is it for you to finally hear that they're having a meeting specifically addressing your concerns about what's happening with the IRC?
We've unfortunately, I hate to say this, but a lot of times it only results in talk from city leadership. We have spoken at city council meetings. We have went once or twice to county commissioner meetings. And the talking part sounds good, but when we look to follow up with action and administration of those actions, that's where we kind of fall short of what I think everyone in the community is looking for. We all understand through numerous individual instances with the IRC's population that they serve that what we are doing now has failed miserably. And so I think with this meeting today, that starts the acknowledgement of that failure of the facility and looking at what do we do different going forward from today, because what it has been up to this point has failed miserably and we can't have that going forward.
And then also, let's go ahead and reiterate some of your concerns once again. Like you said, it's not only just trash, it's been safety concerns. You've got, 911 calls going out there. So just reiterate some of those concerns one more time.
So the IRC has increased the capacity of their services without increasing the services that they offer to the clients that come to their business. And what that has resulted in is there's been a mass calling of people to one location in the city. And that population has extreme needs, a lot of them with mental health issues, a lot of them that are experiencing severe homelessness. And so what happens is the surrounding community kind of takes the brunt of all of that attention going to one location that cannot service that volume of services that they have offered to provide. And so what we have experienced surrounding that community, whether it is the doctor's office behind the IRC or the M&F Bank, which is a black-owned bank and business, you have a church on Pastor Anderson Way. You have multiple creative studios along Washington Street. And then you have a K through 8 grade school that also is across from the depot, as well as my property directly across the street from the IRC. We have experienced extreme trash where the IRC has allowed their clients to come across the street, especially when they've been ejected from the property. Well, what they then do is tell those clients to go across the street and set up a tent. and then they can kind of skirt the rules. And so what that then allows is for all of us in the community to have to deal with those issues that the IRC does not want to deal with. Additionally, they have increased capacity to have safe parking, which is supposed to be a program where they offer people experiencing homelessness that have cars to park on the site of the IRC. Typically, those are women and children. We already know that over a 200% increase in crime has resulted from the services that the IRC has marketed that they will provide in the city. And so all of that has created this perfect storm where the IRC has spiraled out of control due to mismanagement, and that has affected the surrounding community.
And then I'm only going to ask you two more questions. Remind me of who all you spoke with. I know we touched base on this earlier on the phone, but who all did you speak with that have recently given you some of these recent updates?
So we had a meeting with the Department of Transportation, GDOT. With that meeting, we got a time frame of how long the bridge would be closed down, which has actually kind of exploded this issue because now you have created a downtown major corridor into a dead end street in front of a nuisance property. And so what we got was that there will be a temporary fix on the bridge from that will take about 4 months. And then unfortunately the bridge has to be replaced, and that replacement will take anywhere from 4 to 6 years. And so we want to stay on top of that conversation, to stay on top of the administration of those services, to make sure that that process is expedited. Additionally, we have public safety update us that new equipment has been purchased so that there can be better oversight over the IRC facility by public safety. That came directly from the lieutenant and captain of the public safety district that the IRC is located in. And then we've also talked to Council Member Hightower and Council Member Holston, who attended the meeting also, and made them aware that there's a tree line that is in dispute with my property and the city. That is a public safety issue where drugs, prostitution, and other quality of life crimes are happening. And there's an ongoing conversation of how do we addressing that public safety issue so that it can be resolved for the public.
Okay. And then let me see. And what day was that big meeting? I know you said it was sometime last week, like right around the time that I left.
It was either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect. And so would you mind sharing who told you about the meeting today?
We got updates in business owners and properties email thread that is going around with regards to city leadership, both with the county as well as the city. And again, that was shared with us by multiple people in city leadership, including out of the executive office.
Okay, awesome. And so is there anything else you would like to add?
I do want to say that we also appreciate Council Member Zach Mathaney's advocacy for workable solutions as we all kind of face that, this was a potentially well-intentioned idea to locate the IRC in the location that it is at. But due to the extreme mismanagement from multiple executive directors of that facility, where they have refused to be good neighbors and even have conversations with their surrounding neighbors, that it has just become an untenable situation with that facility. And speaking specifically to the current director of the IRC, she stated in another newscast that this is not an IRC problem, this is a community problem. This is an IRC problem. We've seen other homeless organizations administrate their properties and not have the same issues. We know that the IRC has, we know that the IRC has submitted for multiple RFPs from the city, which were 10-day RFPs. One was for the Pallet Homes initiative over in Pomona Park. Another was a safe parking initiative that is currently ongoing now. And they did not have the capacity to do what they were doing before they submitted for those. So you can't submit for additional services and then when you get it wrong, complain and say it's the community's fault. You're getting paid by these government contracts to provide a service, and either you can provide it or you can't.
Awesome. Well, we are no longer recording our conversation, but I do greatly appreciate it. And if it's okay with you, I'll touch base again like later today and see if anybody updates you on the outcome of the meeting.
Yes, that's perfect. And I will definitely try my best to keep you updated as well, not only on this development, but developments going forward, because like we said, we're going to be very vigilant. I did not want to say with regards to the questioning, we know from the street closure of Elm Eugene over by the ballpark, that was a 9-year ordeal by another downtown business, which was Triumph Motorcycle and Acropolis Greek Restaurant, where their businesses almost went out of business because GDOT kind of performed their services in a haphazard way with no regards to the businesses. And so we will make sure that we stay on top of city services to make sure that they get that bridge open and to facilitate the best public safety in this area that we can.
Awesome. Well, thank you so very much. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Have a good day.
Bye.